Part 37. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao Bai Sheng Wu. Chapter 379. In the previous life, Pure Land was a song composed by Toku, a member of the Japanese music group Garnidelia, and written and sung by Maria. The song is undoubtedly of high quality, but it is impossible to take the whole of Asia by storm. But the scene where singing and dancing are paired together achieves this effect. Once the original dance was released, it triggered countless domestic dance imitations. It can be said that the dance area at that time had been blood-bathed. The dance music of Pure Land is very charming. Maria's dance movements and expressions in the original dance are very sultry, and the butterfly steps and Warren steps in the choreography are very distinctive. You may not be used to it the first time you watch it, but the more you watch it, the more you like it. The choreography is very well done, it matches the rhythm and theme of the song very well, and complements each other. Undoubtedly, Pure Land combines singing and dancing into one, and has become a hit in house dance. As soon as it was released, it didn't take long for it to spread across Asia. Almost overnight, countless teams and individuals competed to imitate the dance in China. It can be said that it directly swept through major social platforms such as Bilibili and Weibo. This is the magic of Pure Land. At that time, Pure Land was said to be number one, but no one dared to say it was second. Even after the limelight has passed, you will still see some individuals dancing to the Pure Land from time to time and then making the list. This is a dance song that will go out of style, but will never go out of style. When Susiener came to the recording studio, she naturally recorded songs first and then went to the dance studio to record dances. Today is a difficult day for her. But I've been following Lin Jingshu for so long, and it's too much to do it anymore. Besides, it's just recording songs now, and dancing is the big problem. Thinking of herself as a mentally retarded person, jumping around in the dance studio and complaining to the air, Susiener's scalp went numb. As for why she was alone, of course Susiener wanted to occupy the dance studio and drive everyone else out. The BGM of Pure Land is a synthetic music, and the rhythm can be produced using electronic training software. Coupled with the presence of a professional music teacher and Lin Jingshu, who has superb musical literacy, the three of them quickly came up with the BGM. When Su Wenkin started to test playback, a BGM sounded from the speakers after 3 seconds. Su Wenkin and Lin Jingshu's eyes widened as soon as they heard it, and then there was the sound of electronic drum beating. The sound of the drum seemed to hit the hearts of the two of them, but Susiener was confused. What are these two people so obsessed with? Obviously, Susiener has forgotten the amazing emotion she felt when she first listened to this song. The BGM coming from the speakers has a strong sense of rhythm. Coupled with the fact that it is a professional recording studio of the Huaxia Conservatory of Music, the professional quality of the instruments is fully guaranteed. When this sense of rhythm spread throughout the recording studio, Su Wenkin and Lin Jingshu were driven by the strong rhythm, and they felt as if they felt an electric shock in their hearts. The next moment, Su Wenkin turned off the sound. Seeing Lin Jingshu's confused look, she exhaled and said, "Let's just start recording." The BGM with the sound is the complete music. If you listen to classmate Su after listening to it for the first time, otherwise, it would be a lot less amazing. As a teacher, she didn't want to lose this first time feeling, so she wanted to listen to BGM and Susiener singing. Hearing this, Lin Jingshu nodded. Although the two of them stared at Susiener with expectant expressions on their faces. Susiener was speechless, but she had no objection to singing. In other words, in terms of music, Yuanyi's musical literacy of more than 10 years allows her to sing in front of the audience without any feeling of shame. And my voice is so great, there's nothing to be ashamed of. Dance is different. It is a rhythm and beauty formed by body movements, which requires the body to swing. This is a nightmare for Susiener, so shameful. I'm letting you go, are you ready, Su Wenkin looked at Susiener expectantly. Susiener didn't speak and nodded directly. In an instant, a piece of rhythmic music passed by, and the next moment the sound of electronic drums suddenly sounded. It was very rhythmic, and between the ups and downs, it seemed to tighten the heart, making Su Wenkin and Lin Jingshu stare at Susiener, knowing that Susiener was about to speak. Susiener kept the lyrics in mind, so neither of them knew what the lyrics were like, or even knew it was a Japanese song. Just when the electronic drum suddenly paused, Susiener's voice immediately sounded, without any rhythm changes, and the slightest opening made people's hearts skip a beat. When the moon rises tomorrow, lanterns and candles are burning. Announce the start of the ritual music. Attracting dancing butterflies. It turned out to be a Japanese song. When Susiener opened her mouth, Su Wenkin and Lin Jingshu were surprised, especially Lin Jingshu. She studied Japanese songs and usually liked Japanese songs. I thought this Pure Land song was a Chinese song, but I was shocked by this sudden surprise. However, soon, without waiting for the two of them to be surprised, they continued to be immersed in the song. When she started singing, Susiener had been thinking about what voice to use to express it well. Although the original song was in the voice of Yuji, it was charming and fit the lyrics. But Susiener felt that she was tired of hearing this kind of music, and she might be able to sing this version in the future, but this time she wanted to sing it very aggressively. Also using the voice of a queen, but when Susiener sang, she revealed a sense of dominance under her voice, which shocked Su Wenkin and Lin Jingshu. Please take a sneak peek. If you are lost, it is difficult to find the source. If you want to find joy, please come here, the pure land of bliss. Sing and sing, as you please. Where is your voice? Dance and dance, forget the days. Tonight, let's have fun together, the flowers will eventually fall after blooming. Because of this, I want to cherish this night more. Let's have some fun. As a teacher in the music department, Su Wenkin's teaching system spans a wide range, and naturally he also understands Japanese. And Lin Jingshu is even more so. The two gradually heard that there was something wrong with the lyrics. As Su said, the lyrics were a bit wild. Su Wenkin didn't care, because she had listened to too much music, and she had also heard vulgar songs. Susiener's songs were just child's play. Moreover, Susiener's voice completely controlled the song. Although the lyrics were charming, Susiener sang it with another aggressive voice. The contradiction between the lyrics and the voice had an addictive trend. This trend, in addition to the rhythm of the song itself, is Susiener's own vocal strength. Su Wenkin was attracted, not to mention Lin Jingshu. And Lin Jingshu always felt that Susiener was looking at her while singing this song, making her cheeks rosy. Coupled with the teasing of the lyrics, Lin Jingshu didn't dare to look directly at Susiener. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Sheng Wu. Chapter 380. Sing, sing, do whatever you want. Where is your voice? Dance, dance, forget the past. Let's have fun together tonight, let's have fun together tonight. When Susiener's voice gradually became low, the song finally came to an end. After the song ended, Su Wenkin and Lin Jingshu clapped their hands like two little fans. Su Wenkin used to be a fan of Susiener because the song Sakura Sakura Wants to See You amazed her and attracted her to the teenage Susiener. She loved Susiener so much that she read all her comics and even books, and she was a loyal fan. Although she is already in her 40s, who says that people in their 40s can't chase stars? And Lin Jingshu's cheeks were rosy, and she didn't know whether she was excited or shy because Susiener had just stared at her hard. Not bad. This song has a strong sense of rhythm. If it is posted online, it will definitely become popular. After Su Wenkin finished speaking, she felt that she had said a lot of nonsense. With Susiener's popularity now, even if the song she sang was of poor quality, it would definitely become popular. This is the benefit brought by the expansion of fame. If a quality song is sung by an unknown singer, it is very likely that it will not become popular at all without other factors. But if it is sung by a queen, it will definitely dominate the major charts. Susienner is such a queen-level singer. No need to record it a second time. No need. Su Wenkin smiled, but then she frowned slightly and said, although the song is a good song, I feel that this song is missing something. Seeing Susienner and Lin Jingshu looking at her, Su Wenkin waved her hand and said, it's not the song, but other factors. This song has a strong sense of rhythm. I think it should be more attractive if it is accompanied by dance. It can only be said that she is worthy of being a professional music teacher at the Huaxia Conservatory of Music, with strong professional qualities. The Pure Land of Bliss is a dance song in itself. Both the song and the dance are indispensable. This is the Pure Land of Bliss. Hearing this, Susienner's face fell. Lin Jingshu's eyes lit up, and she took out a piece of clothing from the bag she brought from the dormitory. Su Wenkin's eyes lit up, what is this? This is the clothing that classmate Su asked me to prepare. The Pure Land of Bliss itself is a dance song. If it is matched with dance, the song can be fully brought out. Sure enough, Su Wenkin's eyes lit up. This song is indeed a quality song. With her many years of experience and Susienner's popularity, it will definitely be popular for a while after it is released online, but whether it will be more or less depends on whether the audience likes this song. Even experienced musicians dare not say that every song of theirs will be popular. If Pure Land of Bliss can be accompanied by a special dance, it will undoubtedly be the finishing touch. Su Wenkin looked at Susienner and smiled, the dance room is relatively empty, I will take you there. This glance made Susienner's scalp numb, so she had to bite the bullet and said, teacher, I don't like others watching me when I dance, so can you open a back door for me? Su Wenkin was stunned. As a musical voice, singing and dancing are normal. How can you not like being watched? The students she taught were like peacocks spreading their tails, each wanting to show themselves, but Susienner wanted to dance behind closed doors and not see anyone. After a pause, Su Wenkin also reacted. She thought that Susienner had been staying at home since the beginning of the school year. Maybe she was a very shy girl. Thinking of this, she smiled and replied, no problem, I'll call and ask. The dance room is occupied by students all year round, even on weekends, but Su Wenkin called and learned that there was a dance competition in the city, so most people either went to participate or went to watch the dance. There are only 2 or 3 kittens in the dance studio now, just talk to them. Soon, Su Wenkin took Lin Jingshu and Susienner on the school bus and rushed to the dance studio. On the way, Susienner took the clothes that Lin Jingshu gave her and was stunned. At the beginning, she told Lin Jingshu that the clothes were casual, just with a little ancient style. She didn't know what clothes the 3 girls in the original version wore when they danced in the previous life, and she couldn't describe it, so she let Lin Jingshu do whatever she wanted. Unexpectedly, Lin Jingshu really made it, of course, it was completely different from the previous life. The clothes in front of her have a Han style, but also a Japanese style. This is a combination of 2 styles, but it makes people's eyes light up. The clothes are light blue in color, embroidered with complicated plaid patterns, and the sleeves are relatively wide. If you dance and swing, it may have a different flavor. When they arrived at the dance studio, some scattered classmates heard Su Wenkin say that Susienner was going to dance, and their eyes lit up one by one, but the next moment bad luck struck, and they were not allowed to watch. They could only look at Su Wenkin with resentment, thinking that the teacher wanted to keep it secret. At this time, Susienner had already changed her clothes in the dressing room. During this period, because her clothes were locked, she didn't know how to put them on. She picked up her phone and called Lin Jingshu to ask her to come over for help. She was ridiculed by Lin Jingshu in the dressing room, but after putting on her clothes, she was looked at by Lin Jingshu with starry eyes, which made Susianer smell a familiar smell. Sure enough, Lin Jingshu picked up her phone directly and took pictures in the dressing room with Susianer in her arms. When Susianer came out, Su Wenken was also shocked, with amazement in her eyes. Susianer, wearing a light green half-modern and half-ancient Hanfu dress, looks fresh and elegant. The dress has a narrow waist and wide sleeves. She is wrapped in a green ribbon. Half of the skirt is cut off, revealing her white jade-colored calves. She is wearing black leather boots. Since Susianer is tall, the boots obviously make her look taller. In the dressing room, Lin Jingshu also put on light makeup. Her cheeks are slightly red, and her eyes are slightly moving. She is full of spirit, as if she can speak. This combination of classical and modern clothes, coupled with Susianer's appearance, makes Susianer look like a person in a painting. If she were in ancient times, she would definitely be a beauty who could cause wars and play with princes again. This scene made Su Wenken stunned for a long time. She immediately picked up her mobile phone, regardless of whether Susianer was willing or not, and hugged her and took a photo with a click. Su Wenken originally wanted to give her a princess hug and let Lin Jingshu take a photo. In the end, they were rejected by both of them. Lin Jingshu said in her heart that she had never done this before, and Susianer must be the first princess hug. And Susianer's refusal was even more straightforward and simple. Princess hug? Xm. Dream on. Go to hell. She was getting goosebumps dancing in this outfit. Thinking that she would be facing the camera alone and swinging her body like a fool, Susianer wanted to die. For dancers, this is commonplace, and even for the original body, it is not a big deal. But she is a straight man, not a cross-dresser who would feel happy in women's clothes. Isn't this difficult for her? But she has come here, and this step must be taken. Fortunately, Lin Jingshu and Su Wenken would not look at it, which made her feel relieved. My mother dragged me to meet relatives early in the morning. I thought I would be cancelled today, but I didn't expect to be released in the evening. Congratulations. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 381. Just when Susianer was about to kick Su Wenken and Lin Jingshu out of the dance studio and start jumping in front of the camera. On the internet, the Book of Azalane has begun to ferment. Many people have woken up early in the morning. Since it is the weekend, many people with sleepy eyes picked up their phones and started browsing Taiba and Weibo. Those who browsed Weibo first received the background prompt that Miaobi teacher had new news. And those who browsed Taiba also learned the news quickly, opened the Tencent Comics app directly, entered the inner area, and started to read the fan book of Azalane. Of course, before starting to read, they naturally clicked on the prologue first, and then found that this chapter was just a rough introduction to the world view. Soon, after they finished reading it, they started to read the main story. The plot of the whole story is very simple. Although it is a series book, it is only the first episode. Many men who just got up in the morning saw this book, which was like a pillow for sleepiness, and soon became interested. But as they read it, they suddenly found something wrong. Where is Sujug? Who is this loli? Many people were confused when they saw a little loli appear from a huge machine, and then the protagonist was beastly replenishing magic for this loli, but in the end the loli fell asleep and didn't wake up. What kind of azure heart was needed to revive her? Of course, they all understood the simple plot. But what they couldn't accept was that Sujug was actually a loli. Although Sujug with a loli body had a unique flavor and was very cute. But they still wanted to see Sujug's fan book. However, they hadn't gone to Weibo to ask Miaobi teacher for an explanation, and some players who had played the Azalane beta explained it in Taiba and Weibo. In Azalane, destroyers are lowly bodies, and some of them are the same size as young girls, starting from 3 years and the highest death penalty. And the Jug Destroyer is naturally a lowly body, so some people who have played the Azalane beta were not surprised by Sujug's body in the book, but were very excited, and directly registered with a strong sense of guilt. Many people who came back from the book and entered the Sage mode soon became curious about Azalane. They wanted to know what game it was, and it turned out to be a game represented by Bilibili, and it was launched today. Some people who were not well informed only now found out that all the characters in Azalane were drawn by people from Miobi Studio. They were very excited, and the creativity of anthropomorphic ships was the first time they had seen it. With strong curiosity, they jumped into the game. Some people with rich game experience went directly to the forum to learn how to play the game first. Hello, newbies, the Jug Destroyer is available in the 7-4 map, and it is in the form of a blueprint. I can only tell you this much. How to get Jug through metaphysics, there is a tutorial in the post. Jug is invincible, the first star destroyer in Azure. The game has not started yet, I will explain first, the seals will fly away before they land. Many people were confused, but fortunately there were fine posts, which made them understand the game quickly. Of course, there were some people with poor abilities, who didn't know much, but also became interested, and asked in the post bar like newbies. This scene made Yayuking happy. She chose to open the beta at the time of the book release, naturally to allow curious and enthusiastic readers to directly become game players. The conversion rate at this time is the highest. Both the post bar and Weibo are under their supervision, and many people who like to hang out on Weibo directly follow the Azure Weibo. And people in the post bar naturally click to follow the post bar. The sudden surge in the number of people on both sides made Yayuking and the others overjoyed, but soon this happy mood was broken. You are still browsing the shitty forums and Weibo. Go to Mencian's live broadcast room, someone is broadcasting Miobi teacher dancing to the pure land of bliss. What? Red bean paste. All of a sudden, everyone dispersed like birds and beasts, and swarmed into Mencian's live broadcast room. The sudden slow increase rate also made Yayuking confused, and then she was speechless after understanding it. But she still followed Mencian's live broadcast room with curiosity, and it was obvious that she was also very curious about the pure land of bliss. Now there are only 2 or 3 anchors in Mencian's live broadcast room, and Wang Ximen has not started the great cause of poaching people. These anchors apply for live broadcasts for fun. Among them, the name of the room ranked first is Miobi teacher dancing to the pure land of bliss, please find out with me. After entering the room, I found that the number of viewers had exceeded 2 million, and the number was still rising rapidly. But after entering, many people cursed the anchor because they felt that they were deceived. Of course, many barrages began to help the anchor explain. It turned out that in the morning, Lin Xian, as a dance student of the Magic City Conservatory of Music, did not go to the city with his classmates to watch the dance competition today, but chose to stay in the dormitory. In the morning, when he went out to have breakfast, he found Susiener and Lin Jingshu running to the recording studio. Like other classmates, they surrounded them and asked for an autograph. Then he saw Susiener and Lin Jingshu enter the recording studio. This move made many music students feel itchy. They knew that teacher Miobi would definitely not come here for no reason. Now that he is here, he should release a new song, right? Once the idea came to mind, many people didn't want to leave. But the sound insulation of the recording studio was very good, and they couldn't hear the sound at all. Seeing this, many people gave up and left. But Lin Xian was unwilling and waited outside for a long time. Finally, he saw teacher Susiener and Lin Jingshu come out. The 3 of them took the school bus and went to the dance studio. As a dancer, he was naturally very familiar with the dance studio. At this time, he saw that many students had spread the news online. He was moved and explained the situation in the night's group. When everyone heard it, they asked him to take pictures. But someone said, "What the hell? Now you can live broadcast with a mobile phone, just start a live broadcast." It happened that it was the early stage of the establishment of Mengxian Live Room. Start a live broadcast to spy on teacher Miaobi and promote the popularity of Shenhao Sisters live broadcast platform. When Lin Xian heard it, he agreed directly. After that, the group owner directly tagged the whole group and told the story. This was a big deal. It was directly spread from 1 to 10, and from 10 to 100, and it was known to the whole network at once. In this internet age, the spread of information is really too fast, not to mention that Su Xian'er is still a public figure. In addition, the fact that Pure Land of Bliss has been postponed for so long has made everyone itchy and impatient. As soon as Lin Xian started the live broadcast, the number of people began to increase wildly, which frightened him. It also made him realize that this might be his chance. Holding the mobile phone and facing the screen, he explained the situation to everyone in reality, and then started to rush to the dance studio. Amid the urging of the barrage, when he entered the dance studio, he found that many students were kicked out by Su Wenkan, and this news made the barrage directly disappointed. Alas, teacher Miaobi is really watertight. My pure land of bliss, I hate it so much. Grandpa, I can't hold it anymore. The pure land of bliss you want to watch can only be burned for you by your great-grandson. However, Lin Xian suddenly had an idea and said mysteriously, "Don't worry, since it's live today, I will definitely let everyone see whether teacher Miaobi is dancing to Pure Land of Bliss." Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 382. As a dancer at Huaxia Conservatory of Music, Lin Xian is naturally very familiar with the dance studio. The entire dance area is an independent building in a rectangular shape. It is a very famous building in Yanjing, and many dance competitions will be held here. Although the building is large, most of the facilities are in the first dance studio. Su Wenkan did not drive people away, but just occupied the first dance studio. Others can go to other dance studios to continue practicing. And Lin Xian knows that the entire dance studio is divided into 2 floors. The second floor is for everyone to visit. It does not affect the dancers from top to bottom, and can also pay attention. As a member who is familiar with the dance studio, since the first dance studio has been occupied by teacher Miaobi, Lin Xian knows that there is a vent on the right side of the wall of the first dance studio. The vent is very large, and even if you go up, you don't need to climb to the top floor. This is a very challenging task. When Lin Xian said the situation, the barrage said it was awesome. Anchor, are you going to climb to the top floor? Are you sure you won't slide down and then make a snap? Awesome, this is live streaming with your life. Don't worry, I will burn the video of paradise for you in the future, go Anchor. Leave it to you, brother life. The nuclear bomb has exploded, see you off brother. Lin Xian said with a smile, I don't need to climb to the top floor, this vent is connected, I can go to other dance studios, and then go to the first dance studio. Hearing this, the barrage booed, and then said that if you have this time, you should hurry up, the revolution depends on you. Used by the barrage, Lin Xian took a deep breath, and then entered the dance studio with nervousness. He had to choose an empty dance studio, otherwise others would know what he was going to do at a glance. Luckily, there was a competition in the city today, and most of the dancers were not there. Soon Lin Xian found an empty dance studio, and then went straight to the second floor. After making all preparations, he went directly into the vent. The vents are always ventilated, and there is no unpleasant smell. Although Lin Xian is very thin, he still climbed in with difficulty. He was even more grateful in his heart. Fortunately, the vents of the third dance studio are connected to the first dance studio in a straight line. If he had to turn halfway, it would really be his life. Because the mobile phone was always in his hand, the live broadcast quality was very poor. As Lin Xian's body swayed, it was uncomfortable to sway from east to west. However, the barrage cheered Lin Xian and asked him to climb faster. Some local tyrants directly started to give him gifts to cheer him up, which made Lin Xian full of motivation. After all, the Pure Land of Bliss has been postponed for too long. It would be great if he could see it this time. What Lin Xian didn't know was that his unintentional live broadcast attracted the attention of many people this time. Not to mention Ye Yuking, Wang Zimen found this live broadcast room when she got up early in the morning. She even bubbled in the live broadcast room to threaten and intimidate the barrage to call Susiener and tip off. However, the commentators said that if Sister Shenhao sacrificed their friendship for the revolution this time, they would be loyal viewers of Mencian's live broadcast room in the future, and they would die in Mencian's live broadcast room in the future. Wang Zimen didn't expect that she could get a promise just to scare them, and she couldn't help but smile. Of course, she didn't take the death in Mencian's live broadcast room seriously. And she was actually very curious about what the Pure Land of Bliss was like, so she stayed in the live broadcast room and cheered Lin Xian from time to time. Asada Saori, who was far away in Shanghai, was also in the live broadcast room at this time. The assistant next to her couldn't help but remind her, "Sister Saori, don't you notify Teacher Miyobi? Didn't the Pure Land of Bliss say that it will be broadcast on the New Year's Day of Station B? Don't you see how many viewers there are now?" As she said, Asada Saori narrowed the live broadcast room. The two looked to the upper right. The number of people watching the live broadcast has reached 20 million, and Mencian's live broadcast room is a new live broadcast platform. Wang Zimen has not started to recruit people yet, so she is naturally too lazy to adjust the live broadcast popularity ratio, so the current popularity is the most real. So many people crowded into this live broadcast room early in the morning just to watch Susiener dance to Pure Land. So many people, the assistant took a breath of cold air. More than 20 million people, most of whom were still sleeping in because of the weekend. So, if I notify them, I will be a sinner. And that stinky girl has stood everyone up for so long. I sent so many messages to her before, wanting to see what Pure Land is like, but she just won't tell me. Now someone is live streaming, it can be regarded as a cycle of cause and effect. Asada Saori smiled wickedly. She and Susiener are still in frequent contact. She harasses her on Penguin every day. Of course, she was abused by someone for playing games and was blocked before. She was so angry at that time that she would retaliate now. Of course, Asada Saori's purpose is very simple. If Pure Land is exposed, will the program provided by Susiener in the New Year's festival of B Station change to a dance music? Asada Saori is looking forward to it. And she often goes online. Although Susiener's fans are all on the other side, they also have quite a few complaints, mainly about this Pure Land of Bliss. The pit is too deep, and it's getting deeper and deeper. Last time, I thought Miyobi teacher was going to dig a pit with a shovel, but he came to dig it. After digging for several months, he still had to wait for the New Year's Day. So at this time, it is necessary to let the fans release their resentment. The assistant looked confused and obviously didn't understand. At this time, Lin Xian was sweating in the live broadcast room. It was really uncomfortable. Fortunately, he was thin. If he was fatter, he couldn't get in. I seem to hear singing. Child, are you hallucinating? Come here, Daddy will give you 2 slaps, so you can wake up. Sleep your sister, there is really singing, I heard it too, and the voice seems to be very aggressive. It doesn't sound like the voice of Teacher Miyobi. Host, you are almost at the finish line. Can we see Teacher Miyobi dancing to the Pure Land of Bliss? Wow, happiness comes too fast like a tornado. The barrage that had been cheering for Lin Xian became even more impatient, urging him and imagining the scene that was about to happen. And Lin Xian lived up to everyone's expectations and finally climbed to the finish line. He exhaled, but before he could say anything, he saw the barrage scolding him. Damn, host, don't exhale so loudly, what if teacher Miyobi finds out? Host, don't breathe. Host, don't move. Host, don't wipe your sweat. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. He didn't dare to move the small blinds in front of him, otherwise he would be mentally retarded if he moved and was discovered. He crawled forward, then pointed the camera of his mobile phone through the gap and pointed it downward, then whispered, I can't see teacher Miyobi now. If you can see me, tell me to adjust the camera. Then, under the command of the barrage, Lin Xian adjusted the angle. At this time, in the live broadcast room, the barrage watched the live broadcast room camera go down, and at this moment they saw it, they finally saw it. Oh my god. Ovo. This paradise plot will end tomorrow. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 383. Oh my god. As fans of Susienner, they used to be eager to know whether Miyobi teacher was a man or a woman. When Susienner was exposed as a loli, they were even more excited. Later, when Susienner cosplayed as Wazi, they seemed to be stimulated by their hearts, felt the charm of cosplay, and stimulated everyone's desire to go to the comic exhibition. After that, they looked forward to Miyobi teacher's next cosplay, but since then, even if she appeared, she was just ordinary casual clothes, and the same was true for live broadcasts. So many fans hope that Miyobi teacher can enter the cosplay world, especially Lin Jingshu. Every time she popped up in the fan group, she was encouraged by fans. After all, they knew that the two lived together. Of course, Susienner learned this news and said unhappily, I'm not Sakura, and you're not Tomoyo. What's the point of cosplay? This made Lin Jingshu look confused, but she also knew that Susienner was very averse to cosplay, so she didn't mention it much. When Lin Xian, the barrage director, adjusted the perspective of his phone, they saw a different Susienner. Today, Susienner was dressed more freshly than ever before, wearing a light green half-modern and half-ancient hanfu dress, which was fresh and elegant overall. The dress had a narrow waist and wide sleeves, a green ribbon wrapped around the waist, and half of the skirt was cut off, revealing her white jade-colored calves. This scene made many barrages exclaim directly. They finally saw a different Susienner again, especially the fact that teacher Miyobi put on light makeup for the dance, which made them excited. Tears streaming down my face. The little fairy is really a little fairy, she looks beautiful in anything she wears. She is so beautiful, but she still wears makeup, she is going to kill other girls. Stop making noise, watch teacher Miyobi dance. The vent is on the right, and Susienner is facing this side. Of course, since the vent is above and there are small blinds blocking it, basically no one will notice Lin Xian's existence, but this allows the audience to see clearly, and this bird's eye view is very comfortable. At this time, they are excited and staring at teacher Miyobi, wanting to see what Pure Land of Bliss is like. Soon, they heard the beginning BGM of Pure Land of Bliss. Oh my god, is this rhythm Pure Land of Bliss? Absolutely. I am a teacher at the Magic City Conservatory of Music, this BGM I have no impression, it is definitely an original song, it is very likely to be the Pure Land of Bliss. This rhythm is attractive at the beginning, proving that the rhythm of the song is very strong. Of course, many low-quality songs often attract people at the beginning, but the essence is revealed after the beginning, but the quality of Miyobi's songs is guaranteed, and I look forward to it. The barrage was too fast, but everyone ignored it at this time. It was the rhythm of the BGM at the beginning of the song that attracted them, and soon, under their expectant eyes, the sound of the song sounded. When the moon rises, the lanterns and candles are lit. The music for the sacrifice starts, attracting dancing butterflies. When the song sounded, the barrage was directly surrounded by 666666666, and they didn't know what language to use to express their feelings at the moment. It is obvious that the song attracted them at the beginning and made them excited. Hey, why doesn't teacher Myobi dance? Where is the dance music? Will he find us? No way, shit. No. Don't find us. Many people found Susiener standing still, and they were panicked and afraid of being discovered, especially Lin Xian, who was even more nervous. What panic? Can you look carefully and pay attention to teacher Myobi's feet? If I'm not mistaken, teacher Myobi should be rehearsing in his mind. Only after he has a clear idea in his mind can he pass it in one go. Some sharp-eyed people soon discovered that Susiener's feet moved slightly with the rhythm of the music, and she was obviously rehearsing in her mind. They were indeed right. Susiener was indeed rehearsing, because she knew that if she danced for too long, her shame would probably explode directly, and she would probably dance worse and worse. It would be better to grit her teeth and dance perfectly once, and then just let it go. However, as the song went on, Susiener's mind was confused. You know, the dance of the Pure Land of Bliss is not just about body swinging, but also requires facial expressions, especially the original expression, which requires smiles in the eyes and charming faces. You let her, a tall and handsome man, do such a crooked and evil way? While rehearsing in her mind, Susiener was struggling in her heart. She wanted to finish the dance directly without any expression, but she didn't know if it was because of her original body, which made her feel that although this was a song and dance she copied, it must be perfect, otherwise it would be too unfair to the original author. She scolded herself for being stupid again in her heart. Why did she post on Weibo in the first place? However, Susiener also figured it out a little after struggling mentally. Anyway, there was no one here, no one could see her flirting, so she quickly finished the dance and went home to take a shower and sleep. Thinking of this, Susiener felt relieved. As the song cycled, Pure Land of Bliss had been played once, which made the barrage commentators praise the song for being awesome. It would be unreasonable not to be popular. Some people with high musical literacy in the barrage even explained, this song is definitely a quality song, but because teacher Myobi also said that it is a dance song, only the combination of dance and song can tell the quality of this dance music. But because the song has completely attracted them, everyone is looking forward to it. Especially since they were still in a voyeuristic perspective, the feeling was really exciting. Teacher, should we go in and talk? Lin Jingshu, who was outside the dance studio, watched the live broadcast with a worried look on her face. If student Su finds out later, he will go crazy. After getting along for so long, Lin Jingshu understood each other better than Susiener herself. If Susiener knew about this later, he would probably pass out immediately. However, Su Wenkan pointed to the live broadcast on her mobile phone and said with a smile, tens of millions of people are watching, we can't offend the public, and this song and dance will be released sooner or later. This is just early. Of course, Su Wenkan knew in her heart that this little guy Susiener hadn't had a single class since he entered school. Some extremely stubborn deans had been unhappy with Susiener for a long time. They didn't care whether you looked cute or not. It's your fault if you don't come to class, it's ruining the school spirit. Of course, because Susiener was extremely popular in school, they had been holding back and not bursting out. But if the song and dance can be exposed, it will be extremely beneficial to the Huaxia Conservatory of Music. The China Conservatory of Music, which has been established for a long time, may be able to steal the limelight in the media again. As long as this matter is settled, Susiener will have a gold medal to avoid death. If the school leaders dared to attack Susiener, the students would probably riot. One or two is fine, but what about a group? After all, the law does not blame the public. Today, Susiener is not dancing to the Pure Land of Paradise, but to receive the gold medal for immunity from death. At this time, Susienner was ready to jump. I overestimated myself, I thought I could finish writing the plot of Pure Land today. VO, you are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 384. Just when the barrage couldn't wait, the next moment, the music repeated. Finally moved. Wow, started dancing. Susienner knew she couldn't avoid it. As the BGM sounded, Susienner also danced. She suppressed the sense of shame and hypnotized herself in her heart to dance perfectly. Perhaps it was the influence of the original body, or Susienner figured it out. At this moment, her heart had no thoughts, just wanted to finish the dance perfectly and return to the dormitory. In the eyes of the audience, Miobi teacher, who danced to the electronic beat, matched the music, stepped slightly, and each step was on the note of the music, making people unable to help but follow the rhythm of the music and feel excited. The sound of the electronic drum fell hard on the ears of the audience. When they listened to the Pure Land of Bliss just now, it was undeniable that the rhythm of this song was very strong. Even if they were not professionals, they knew that this was a song very suitable for choreography. But when Miobi teacher really started to dance, they realized that dance was the real essence. As Miobi teacher's body swayed, the sleeves of her clothes fluttered, revealing her jade-white forearms. Every movement perfectly matched the rhythm of the Pure Land of Bliss, making people unable to take their eyes off. People sitting in front of their computers watching the live broadcast even couldn't help shaking their legs to the rhythm of Susienner. This song combined with the dance seemed to have great magic, making people dare not breathe, as if their breathing would interrupt Miobi teacher's dance, making many people slightly panting and excited. Some professional choreographers couldn't help but be shocked when they saw this scene. Is this Ali's slide? Ali's slide is mainly composed of elegant side slides and reverse slides, also known as butterfly dance steps. This dance step is adapted from the clever body movements of boxing champion Ali. The whole dance is full of confusion, and eclectic. And it is extremely agile, giving people a sense of dazzling performance. In their eyes, teacher Miobi readapted the dance steps and combined them with the Warren steps, making the dance more in line with the Pure Land of Bliss. Whether it was the waving of the arms or the stretching of the legs, teacher Miobi was like a dancing butterfly, extremely beautiful. Early in the morning, these professional choreographers were woken up by their relatives and friends. They were originally very angry, but when they learned that someone was broadcasting teacher Miobi's dance live, they turned on the live broadcast with great anticipation. And this scene made them feel fortunate. Although the host's arms sometimes shook unconsciously, which slightly reduced the quality of the live broadcast, it was enough to see clearly, and it was enough to make them excited. What Lin Xian didn't know was that people on other live broadcast platforms even broadcast his footage. Although live broadcast platforms are prohibited from broadcasting live broadcasts of other platforms, Susienner is different. She is too popular, and it would be a shame not to take advantage of the popularity. In addition, it would be enough to mosaic the logo of the Mengxian live broadcast room. So Susienner didn't know at all that she was dancing now, and there were nearly 100 million people watching online. Fortunately, Susienner didn't know, otherwise she would probably go crazy. Look at the expression of teacher Miobi. Wow, damn. I finally know why teacher Miobi wears makeup. No, I can't breathe. Many people only pay attention to the dance itself, because the dance itself is to show the jumping of the body. So most people will breathe the facial expressions of the performers, but among 100 million viewers, there are always those who only look at the face. They found that as teacher Miobi danced, her facial expressions also moved. In the extremely aggressive Pure Land of Bliss, teacher Miobi showed a different and strange feeling with an extremely charming expression. This feeling made them feel like they were electrocuted. It seems that they are in love. When the song came to more than 2 minutes, as the song slowed down, the sound disappeared, and only the pure BGM was left. The dance seemed to slow down. Then they found that teacher Miyobi took a step forward, and as the clothes swayed, she gently lifted her hair, and then, the next moment, the audience was suffocated. Even the barrage seemed to disappear. It's not that they don't want to type, but they don't want to type at this time. At this moment, they finally know why Susiener put on makeup. In their opinion, teacher Miyobi is so cute and beautiful. It's better not to put on makeup, although she is still beautiful with makeup. But at this moment they know that it's not that they can't go without makeup, but that they can't show the charm of this action without makeup. This is an extremely charming charm. No, I can't breathe. Is teacher Miyobi-ing me? Wife, stop dancing, come home with me. Go away, Miyobi is my wife. I'm in love. I will always like teacher Miyobi. JGP. When the song sounded again, Susiener also changed. At this moment, the audience reacted, and the live broadcast rooms of various live broadcast platforms exploded in an instant. A series of barrages were brushed out, and the most brushed ones were teacher Miyobi is my wife and I finally know what it feels like to be in love. The single guy finally found his dream wife. My heart was beating wildly. Wife, stop dancing, come home with me. The riot of comments shocked many people. They didn't expect the audience to be so crazy, and some professional choreographers were even more fanatical. In their eyes, this was the climax of the dance, and the teacher who could choreograph this kind of dance was undoubtedly a genius, which was amazing. And they also knew that if this live video was recorded and sent out, it was estimated that a lot of people would follow and imitate it. Chen Rui felt cold when he saw this scene. He started watching when Susiener was halfway through the dance. So he knew that even if he notified Susiener now, it would be useless. It would be better to let Susiener finish the dance. However, Pure Land of Bliss must not be put on the New Year's festival. It has been exposed, and there is no point in farting. It seems that I have to ask teacher Miyobi for a new dance music. Give the order to let Sujug dance as well. Chen Rui knew that Pure Land of Bliss had become popular. What does it mean to have 100 million viewers watching it? If everyone recommends it to the people around them, it won't take long for the whole country to know about it. Of course, this is an exaggeration. But it is not an exaggeration to say that Pure Land of Bliss is a big hit. Because this dance music has the capital to be a big hit, and the person dancing is Susiener, it would be strange if it didn't become popular. At this moment, Susiener had finished dancing. She came to the camera, operated it for a while, and then looked at herself dancing on the screen. In an instant, her face flushed. When Su Wenkan and Lin Jingshu knew that the dance was over, they were about to push the door open, but before they could push the door open, they saw Susiener coming out of the dance studio with her face covered. My straight male soul. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 385. Su Wenkan looked at Susiener in a daze as she disappeared from her sight. She was stunned for a moment and looked at Lin Jingshu and said, "Classmate Su, will nothing happen to her?" Shouldn't it be? Lin Jingshu's heart was beating fast. Susiener looked like this. Could it be that she already knew that someone was watching her live broadcast? Of course, Susiener didn't know. If she knew, she would probably go crazy now. She hurried home, ignoring the surprised expressions of others looking at her, and went upstairs directly, and saw Wang Zimen preparing to go downstairs. And after seeing her, there was a strange expression on her face, but Susiener didn't have much curiosity now, so she went back to her room, turned off her phone, and went to sleep. Today was just a dream. She wanted to numb herself with sleep, and nothing would happen when she woke up. At this time, Susianer naturally didn't know that the Pure Land she danced to had been uploaded to major websites. When watching the live broadcast, many people had already recorded it and posted it online as soon as possible. Many people who came to watch the live broadcast instantly flocked to major websites, especially Bilibili, which is the base camp of Myobi Teacher. Countless barrages directly flooded the dance area, and Pure Land of Bliss became popular in the first time. A dance song, in just one morning, washed all major websites. Some Ghost Animal Up masters and Animation Area Up have already planned to start making videos. Bilibili itself is already making Sujug's Pure Land of Bliss. It can be said that once this dance song came out, it has established its dominant position. It may become a hot topic in the next 1 or 2 months. This attitude shocked many people. Although they knew that this dance song would be a big hit, it swept the entire network in less than half a day. Whether it was a video website, Taiba, or Weibo, everyone was talking about this matter. Is it too popular? However, they were puzzled, but they also knew that there was no dance music that could stop Pure Land of Bliss now, unless Myobi Teacher danced another dance music with a rhythm better than Pure Land of Bliss. Most people on the internet have analyzed this dance music, saying that this dance music that combines song and dance cannot be stopped after watching it once, as if it is poisoned, and it keeps playing in a loop. When Lin Jingshu recorded the video, she returned to the dormitory and saw Wang Ximen eating again. "Where is classmate Su?" Lin Jingshu said nervously. "She is in the room, she locked herself up," Wang Ximen said, and suddenly realized, she doesn't know that her dance music has been uploaded to the internet, right? Speaking of this, Wang Ximen also became nervous. Susiener's expression when she came back just now was not quite right, and the reason why she didn't think much about it was because Susiener herself was a music student, and in her opinion it was normal for people to watch her singing and dancing. Susiener is so cute, and her fans like her so much. It's nothing to be peeped at while dancing Pure Land of Bliss. But now seeing Lin Jingshu's nervous mood, Wang Ximen was also a little uneasy. Wang Ximen, who wanted to ask something, found that Lin Jingshu had gone upstairs. "Student Su." Lin Jingshu came to the second floor and wanted to push the door open, but found that the door was locked, which made her even more nervous, and her voice was anxious. In the past, Susiener's door was basically not closed, so everyone was used to pushing the door open directly. Although this habit was not good, it was so familiar that it was harmless. As a result, Susiener actually locked the door now. Lin Jingshu regretted it in her heart. If she had known that Susiener's dance was broadcast live, she would have reminded her. Anyway, the Pure Land of Bliss would not be able to escape, and it would be okay to dance a few days later. Click. Just when Lin Jingshu was about to continue knocking on the door, Susiener opened the door, pulled Lin Jingshu in directly, and then closed the door. Seeing this, Lin Jingshu breathed a sigh of relief. She subconsciously looked at the computer and found that the video posted on Bilibili was playing on the computer. Sure enough, Susiener already knew. "Student Su, I'm sorry, I was wrong." The two had known each other for so long. Lin Jingshu knew that Susiener must be angry, because she knew each other, so she knew what Susiener hated. "Since you know you did something wrong, you must bear the consequences of your mistake." Hearing this, before Lin Jingshu could react, Susiener pulled her hand, and then gently shook it. Unexpectedly, Lin Jingshu lay directly on the bed. Lin Jingshu looked confused, she didn't know what Susiener was going to do. But the next moment, she knew. Before she could react, Susiener directly sat on Lin Jingshu, pressing her hands with both hands, so that she couldn't move. The next moment, Lin Jingshu widened her eyes, feeling her lips being invaded by an extremely moist and soft touch. She was stunned. Being kissed. Lin Jingshu didn't react at all for a moment, her eyes were blank. Susiener was in a very complicated mood at this time. She was very scared just now. Although she had been a girl for more than a year, She had always been determined that she was a man and her sexual orientation was very normal. But she actually performed the song The Pure Land of Bliss so perfectly. You should know that the song The Pure Land of Bliss itself is a relatively wild song, showing the softness and charm of women. And she actually overcame her psychological barriers and performed it. The more she thought about it, the more she couldn't sleep. When she got up and went online, she saw that her singing and dancing were secretly filmed and posted on the internet. Susienner didn't have any thoughts because she was confused and tangled in her heart. In her previous life, Susienner read a lot of novels, all kinds of novels, and also read a lot of transformation novels. There were lesbian stories about marriage. There is a theory that when a man becomes a woman, he will soon be affected by the estrogen in his body. As time goes by, his every move will be full of feminine beauty. After 2 or 3 years, he will be assimilated into a woman, and even like boys, fall in love with boys and get married. Susienner got goosebumps when she thought of this scene. This made Susienner feel scared and terrified, so when Lin Jingshu knocked on the door, she directly pulled the other party in, and then went straight to her mouth without thinking about it. She wanted to prove she is still a straight man and still likes girls. Jingshu, is Su okay? With Wang Zimen's voice, the door was pushed open. In an instant, Wang Zimen was stunned, looking at the two people on the bed, her fair face instantly turned red. When Lin Jingshu heard Wang Zimen's voice, she finally reacted and tried to push Susienner away with a little force with both hands. But Susienner didn't care at this time, and pressed her whole body on Lin Jingshu, not letting her move at all. Not only that, Lin Jingshu felt their lips pressed together, and a lubricated foreign object stretched into her mouth. Lin Jingshu stared at Susienner with wide eyes. Then she felt her body gradually become weak, her whole body was even hotter, and her eyes gradually changed from confusion to blur. This. Wang Zimen stared blankly, her feet did not move, and her heart was greatly stimulated. Student Su, the starting point. Shianayui Sakura rubbed her eyes, walked out of her room, and came to Susienner's room. She was about to say something, but when she saw the scene in front of her, her legs softened, and she sat on the ground, staring at the scene blankly. The power outage lasted until midnight, and my tooth ached. Ovo. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 386. Susienner knew clearly about the arrival of Wang Zimen and Xianyue, but she did not stop her actions. A few hundred words are harmonized here. Wang Zimen was shocked. She thought she was the only girl with normal sexual orientation in the dormitory because she was the only girl in the dormitory who was in love. But at this moment, her 3 views had been overturned. Wang Zimen had longed for lesbians. Because she used to think that boys were too dirty, both physically and mentally. And the 2 girls' white and tender bodies intertwined together, what a beautiful moment. She had thought about this scene and had seen it in comics, until now, she had witnessed it in reality. The scene in front of her was in line with her fantasy of lesbians. Both Susienner and Lin Jingshu were extremely beautiful people. And she saw that Lin Jingshu, who was originally in a state of resistance, actually put her hands around Susienner's back and took the initiative, as if she was enjoying it. Kiss, is it so comfortable? At this moment, Wang Zimen's eyes were a little confused, and she suddenly felt very urgent in her heart. She wanted to meet the person she was dating online. When she met Susienner on the internet, she knew what it felt like to be in love, and she wanted to meet the other person all the time. No matter how tall, short, fat, or thin the other person was, she would accept it. In the past, the other party always refused, and she respected the other party. But now she wanted to meet the other party too much. At this moment, Wang Zimen made up her mind. In a few days, she would find a hacker and find the other party. She didn't want to wait any longer, and all the live broadcast platform profits, all rolled aside. In love, you should be willful. At this time, Susianer and Lin Jingshu were obsessed with entanglement, and Wang Ximen was staring blankly, with intense thoughts colliding in her mind. But the one with the most confused thinking was Shianayui Sakura. As a true lesbian, Shianayui Sakura didn't even know whether to be happy or sad when she saw this scene. She wanted to turn Susianer gay all the time, but now she knew that Susianer was a lesbian, then she should be happy in her heart. But the scene before her did not make her happy. Lin Jingshu had taken the lead, and judging from the situation, it was Susianer who took the initiative. If Lin Jingshu resisted, it would be fine, and Shianayui could still see hope, because that would prove that Lin Jingshu was a normal person with normal sexual orientation, not a lesbian. But Lin Jingshu's current situation made Shianayui despair. Because just now it was Susianer who took the initiative, but now it was Lin Jingshu who firmly took the initiative. Doesn't this mean that the two of them just became a couple? Susianer didn't know that the two people's thoughts behind her had become a mess, she only knew that she was going to suffocate. She originally thought that if she kissed her, she would most likely be slapped by Lin Jingshu, or the other party would struggle away quickly, but what was going on now? The entanglement of the two made Susianer's body hot. Her back and little head were firmly controlled by Lin Jingshu with both hands, and she couldn't leave even if she wanted to, and the two bodies were entangled together. Lin Jingshu was actually actively invading her? Susianer's mind was full of disbelief. She had wanted to turn Lin Jingshu into a lesbian before, but when she found out that she didn't seem to have such signs, she gave up. But today, she found out that Lin Jingshu was a lesbian after kissing her? It wasn't until more than a minute later that the two people on the bed separated. Susianer was panting and sweating a little. And Lin Jingshu was even worse, she collapsed on the bed, panting. She opened her eyes and looked at Susianer pressing on her. Suddenly, she shuddered, and her confused eyes gradually became clear. Looking up at Wang Ximen standing outside the door and Shianayui Ying sitting on the ground, Lin Jingshu's already rosy face was like a tomato at this time. Her mind was blank, and she could only subconsciously wrap her body with a quilt, and was hidden by the quilt, without even showing her head. Susianer was a little amused when she saw this. But she also knew that what she did today was really too much, but since it was done, it became a fact. I also have to deal with the aftermath. But now she is a little tired. She kissed for too long and her brain is a little short-circuited. Ximen, I'm thirsty. Pour me a glass of water. Hearing Susianer's words, Wang Ximen was startled, and then stammered, okay. Then she went downstairs. And Shianayui Sakura also reacted after hearing this, and stood up with the door. She didn't even wait for Susianer to speak, and said directly, I'm going back to the room, I'm going. Watching the two people disappear at the door, Susianer sighed in her heart. She didn't know how to deal with this matter. Now Wang Ximen and Shianayui Sakura must think that she is a lesbian. Well, she is. So, how should this matter be resolved? After all, there are 4 people in the dormitory. What will Wang Ximen and Shianayui Sakura think of what she and Lin Jingshu are like? After a while, Susianer had no clue. The water is here. Wang Ximen adjusted her mentality downstairs, and after entering the room, she handed the water to Susianer. While taking the water, Susianer took a sip and said seriously, just now, Jingshu and I were rehearsing a dance. The Pure Land of Bliss has been exposed, and Billy will definitely ask me to recreate a dance song, Lin Jingshu and I. Puff. A laugh came from under the quilt. It was obvious that Lin Jingshu was amused by Susianer's ridiculous nonsense. Instantly, Susianer and Wang Ximen's faces turned black. Susianer felt that she just needed to find a way out. No matter how unreliable the reason was, she had to make an excuse. Wang Ximen was speechless by Susianer's reason. How stupid must she be to believe Susiener's excuse? Ovo. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 387. After finally sending Wang Ximen away, Susiener looked at Lin Jingshu, who was wrapped in a quilt on the bed without even raising her head, and didn't know how to start. Now that they had kissed, she had no choice. She had kissed him rashly and forcefully without considering the consequences. After all, she was just thinking about whether her sexual orientation had changed. Now that she had thought clearly, she was still a girl, and she had reacted to Lin Jingshu's body, which showed that her soul was still a man. This made Susiener feel relieved, and she finally began to think about how to deal with the follow-up issues. First, Lin Jingshu was kissed by her. What was her reaction? Although she just laughed, she was just amused by her, and she didn't know what she was thinking. And what would Wang Ximen and Shianayui Sakura think? Would the two of them have any ideas about this matter? Maybe they couldn't stand the lesbian in the dormitory and moved out? If this really happened, Susiener could only stare blankly and do nothing. Of course, Susiener quickly abandoned the issue of Wang Ximen and Shianayui Sakura. The most urgent thing is how to deal with Lin Jingshu. Jingshu. After closing the door gently, Susiener was very sensitive and noticed that when the door made a slight click, the quilt suddenly shook. However, Susiener called Lin Jingshu, but the other party did not answer. Then Susiener called a few more times, but Lin Jingshu still did not speak. Don't tell me you fell asleep. Although Lin Jingshu has the habit of taking a nap, and now is the time for the other party to take a nap, Susiener does not believe that the other party will sleep after such a thing happened. But pretending to sleep is indeed a good way to escape. Of course, it is also possible that Lin Jingshu feels that she has closed the door and is about to violate her defense again. After staring at Lin Jingshu, who was wrapped in the quilt for a few times, Susiener was helpless. She wanted to make up a reason to explain, but now it seems that it is not necessary. She just wants to know what Lin Jingshu is thinking. After all, it was Lin Jingshu who took the initiative, and she was almost suffocated by the kiss. I can only sigh that she is a music student, and her lung capacity is sufficient. Since Lin Jingshu was going to pretend to sleep, Susiener would not disturb her. She went straight to the computer and watched the loop of her dance to paradise, and then watched the barrage of comments like lick lick lick, such as Miobi teacher is my wife, and clicked X with a blank face. She just learned that someone was live streaming from the vent with a mobile phone, which made her speechless. But she was not too angry. After all, the other party was also her fan, and this dance music would be released sooner or later, and now it was just in advance. And the school would definitely deal with the other party's behavior. After all, it was secretly filmed. I guess they would issue a notice of criticism. Thinking of this, Susiener turned on her phone because she was going to play games. After all, when playing games, there would be a desire to spend money, so the phone must be turned on. As soon as she turned on the phone, she saw countless phone calls bombarding her. They were all a group of hindsighters who were ready to tell her that they were secretly filmed, and Susiener ignored them all, but Chen Rui called. As soon as her mind turned, Susiener knew what Chen Rui was going to do. It was nothing more than that the Pure Land of Bliss was exposed, so whether there was any new dance music or not, she didn't even need to use her brain to know what Chen Rui, a lousy businessman, was thinking. After thinking for a while, Susiener directly blocked the other party to prevent him from harassing her recently. As a result, within 2 minutes, Susiener had just opened the game when the phone rang again. She didn't even look at it, and said angrily, "I blocked you, and you changed your phone to call me." Ah! Zhao Jing was confused. "Miobi teacher, is there any misunderstanding? I forgot to block you too. Susiener was very upset when she heard it was Zhao Jing. The happiest people to find her were Chen Rui and Zhao Jing. The two busy people were very idle and called her whenever they were free. And this also made Zhao Jing very upset. Who did I offend? However, he ignored Susiener's words and said in a friendly manner, Miobi teacher, didn't we talk about the anti-corruption theme before? Is there? Of course there is. Zhao Jing was anxious. Miobi teacher, we agreed a long time ago that we would customize exclusive skins for you in League of Legends, and now the skins have been on the shelves for a month or two, you should have some action. It would be fine if Zhao Jing didn't mention League of Legends, but Susiener got angry when he mentioned it. If it weren't for League of Legends, would she be forced to jump to the Pure Land? Would it be like now, with people all over the internet looking at her like a monkey? And since this incident happened, Susiener has uninstalled League of Legends. Whoever plays it in the future will be a retard. I can't draw it now. I have to draw a book, a passerby heroine, and a future daughter. I'm not a tentacle monster. Isn't Miobi Studio your tentacle? Zhao Jing was helpless. Susiener always used the same reason to prevaricate him. The new year is coming soon, I'm going to hibernate. It's only October now. Zhao Jing was desperate. Susiener finally felt a little embarrassed at this moment. How about this? I can't draw comics anymore, can I just write a script for you? You're digging a hole and not filling it, Zhao Jing glared. He had previously valued Susiener's statement that she wanted to draw anti-corruption comics, and with her fame, even if it wouldn't be a big hit, it would definitely guarantee fame. But now Susiener was going to quit, and Zhao Jing suddenly felt powerless. Isn't it normal to dig a hole without filling it? Nowadays, novel authors dig a hole when they have nothing to do, and they won't fill it at the end. Maybe the hole will get bigger and bigger. Susiener looked as if it was a matter of course, and then suddenly thought of something and whispered, and Chairman Chen just called me and said that Pure Land of Bliss must not be put on the New Year's festival because everyone already knows it, so he asked me to create a new one. You know, it's very difficult to create such things. Just now I had a flash of inspiration and felt a little bit. After the arrangement is completed, I must choreograph. I don't have time to create any comics at all. It's a waste of time. Really? Zhao Jing rolled his eyes. What's the name of the song that flashed with inspiration? Daowin Love Song, The latter sentence was obviously not said by Zhao Jing. Susiener turned around and found that Lin Jingshu was already sitting on the bed, looking at her with sparkling eyes. Susiener's heart sank, and she knew it was over. Hello, Mr. Miobi. Hearing Zhao Jing's voice, Susiener hung up silently, and then blocked him directly. She shouldn't have chatted with him for so long. Daowin Love Song, when will we dance? Lin Jingshu seemed full of energy, and came to her in an instant, staring at her without blinking. In the new week, I'm asking for a recommendation vote for my new book I Hate Women the Most. I want to rush down the list on Monday. Oh. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 388. Get in bed with me and I'll jump. Susiener said fiercely that she felt that if Lin Jingshu was not properly managed, the other party would really think that she was easy to bully. If this continues, she will not dare to speak in the future. If she accidentally says something related to music, the other party will get entangled with her. In the end, just when Susiener thought Lin Jingshu would dislike her, she went to see Lin Jingshu and nodded, with a blush on her face and said, "Okay. Do you know it's harmful?" Susiener suddenly felt something was wrong when she was halfway through her words. Then her eyes widened and she looked at Lin Jingshu in disbelief. You agreed." Susiener almost stuttered, then she thought that Lin Jingshu was playing hard to get. "Do you think you really don't dare?" Thinking of this, Susiener hummed softly, "Then take off your clothes." Do you want to take off your clothes? Lin Jingshu looked shy. Susianer felt that her brain was stimulated. She looked at Lin Jingshu, who was about to take off her clothes, speechlessly, and said, Jingshu, I didn't expect you to be such a person. You don't even resist the unspoken rules. I misjudged you. What are you thinking about? Lin Jingshu spat. I just lay on the bed and searched Baidu, and found that it seemed normal for girls to kiss or sleep together before. Is this why you kissed me for more than a minute and almost suffocated me? But Susiener still very calmly Baidu'd, is it normal for girls to kiss each other? Question. Then I discovered that some people thought it was abnormal. After all, kissing is something couples do, and the people who answered this way were usually men. Most women think it's quite normal, just like girls don't understand why men want to kill each other for thousands of years, flying airplanes, monkeys picking peaches, or even putting their hands into clothes and touching each other's heads. Of course, it's a bit abnormal to be tongue-tied, but it seems that Lin Jingshu has no tongue-to-mouth at all. Susiener doesn't know if the other person is evading or doing something. In short, she was defeated by Lin Jingshu. Then let's sleep together at night. Since Lin Jingshu doesn't care, will Susiener still care? This is simply a joke, she just couldn't ask for it. If they sleep together at night, why don't they just follow her and do whatever they want? Can Lin Jingshu still run away? What about Daowen love song? Lin Jingshu looked at Susiener expectantly, showing no signs of escaping from sleeping together at night. Susiener was desperate, Lin Jingshu was a complete music fanatic. We'll talk about this later, I just have a little inspiration. Seeing Lin Jingshu looking at her suspiciously, Susiener couldn't help shouting, no matter how talented I am, I can't compose music in one night. And such an arrangement, the music has no quality at all. If you can't compose it, you must have forced it? Then, okay. Lin Jingshu looked helpless. Then I'll go back to the room and take a nap first. Go on, go on. Susiener was surprised to find that the forced kiss incident passed like this, which made her a little surprised. After Lin Jingshu went out and closed the door of Susiener's room, her whole face suddenly turned red. Even her ears and neck were extremely pink. It was obvious that Lin Jingshu was completely showing off her true colors inside. Lin Jingshu touched her lips, as if she could recall the softness of Susiener's lips, and remembering the feeling just now, she actually felt a little lingering. This frightened Lin Jingshu, and she quickly stopped thinking about it and went back to her room, intending to take a nap and adjust her mentality. While Susiener was mindlessly playing games, Lin Jingshu was taking a nap, and Yui Sakura Shiina was in despair and was about to discuss it with her teacher. Wang Ximen had already contacted her father's security team in front of the computer. As the world's richest man, Wang Zhongxian naturally has many talents under his command, but there are only a few people who can serve as assistants around him. And Zhang Xiao is such a person. In other words, Zhang Xiao is Wang Zhongxian's exclusive hacker. He usually works as a network security consultant in the company, and few people know his identity. Of course Wang Ximen knew, so she went directly to Zhang Xiao. Before Zhang Xiao could ask what was going on, Wang Ximen said a lot of nonsense. Then Zhang Xiao knew what Wang Ximen was going to do. He said directly to Wang Ximen, "Give me a few minutes." Then he hung up the phone and called another number. At this time, Wang Zhongxian was in his leisure time, but when he received a call from Zhang Xiao, he was no longer calm. "You said that Ximen wanted to know about Su, about her online boyfriend." "Yes, Chairman." "Don't deal with this matter, just pretend you don't know." I told Ximen. Wang Zhongxian was very concerned about his daughter's affairs. He called Wang Ximen's mobile phone and said directly, "Ximen, didn't we make an agreement? As long as you can use the funds your father gave you to start a business, will I let you see your boyfriend?" "But I can't wait any longer." Wang Ximen mumbled angrily, "I don't know how long I have to wait if I want to make money in the Mengxian live broadcast room." "But we have made an agreement, and since we have made the agreement, We cannot go back on it, Wang Zhongxian said lightly. Of course, he also knew that Wang Ziman would not listen to this. This girl sometimes has a whim, and no one can control it. It was the same as when the other party directly rewarded Su Xian'er with 10 million. As Wang Ziman's father, Wang Zhongxian, he was naturally wary of this happening. Thinking about it, Wang Zhongxian said slowly, "There is one thing I have never told you. The reason why you did this was actually your boyfriend's suggestion." "What?" Wang Ziman was stunned. "Is there such a thing?" Wang Zhongxian wrote the whole play and smiled softly and said, "When I found out that you were dating online, my father immediately found out your online dating partner. I originally planned to give him a sum of money to tell him to get out." Wang Ziman said angrily, "Dad, are you the villain of the novel? How could you do such a bloody thing?" "Bullshit. No, I think this can be used to tell whether the other person likes you or money." Wang Ziman said quietly, "Even if he likes money, he will not agree to your request. Because if you marry me, he will be the son-in-law of the world's richest man." Wang Zhongxian was suffocated. When did this stupid daughter of his come to her senses? Can you actually figure out the crux of the problem? Could it be that after staying with Su Xian'er for a long time, my IQ began to slowly improve? Thinking about it, Wang Zhongxian smiled slightly and said, "Do you think I will go there in person? I asked you, Uncle Li, to go over and test it out." Then, what happened in the end? Wang Ziman looked nervous, obviously caught in the story spun by Wang Zhongxian. "He refused, and I found that the other party is very talented, so I acquiesced to the online dating between the two of you before Wang Ziman could be happy." Wang Zhongxian changed the topic, "But I also know that that young man, the reason for my rejection is entirely because I don't like you. Because I learned that he likes smart women, and you seem to only spend money online. I don't object to your marriage, but he seems to dislike you, so I don't like you. Only by becoming a smart person can you attract your online dating partner and let him take the initiative to pursue you." Su Xian'er didn't know that what was originally a huge crisis for her was solved by Wang Zhongxian in just a few words. "I can only sigh, Wang Ziman still has insufficient IQ and is too young.